If I had a fight with Clarissa coming up and I'm like, Clarissa ain't online. She ain't been online in 22 weeks. What? She ain't respond to nobody. She ain't even tweet. She ain't show pap, nothing. No, nothing. Oh yeah, y'all, we can't do the fight. She's going to beat me up. Oh, I'd say I'm reasonable. Okay, that's completely unreasonable. I'm reasonable.
I'm unreasonable.
You have no idea just how reasonable I have been.
Reasonable synonyms are sensible, rational, practical, fair, appropriate. Fitting, suitable, logical. All things I would definitely say describe me. Do they describe you?
Welcome to I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson.
I'm reasonable. Hey, welcome to another episode of I'm Reasonable with Zainab Johnson. I am Zainab Johnson. Welcome back, Reasons. Welcome back. Everybody that came out to my Ontario show, my Oxnard shows, those shows were fantastic. Really fantastic. So thank you so much for making the drive. If you're like a Los Angeles local and you drove, an hour east or an hour and a half north to come see me, or if you are like actually located in the Inland Empire and you were like, yes, I'm so happy that she came to see us, or you are up north, in like Thousand Oaks, Ventura County, etc. You know what I'm saying? You're like, you know what? I'm actually in Sherman Oaks, but I could either go up north to Ventura County or I can go down to Hollywood, and I don't feel like doing that. Everybody that came to see me, thank you. Those shows were really, really fun. I ain't never been no plotting asshole. Okay? It ain't really in my spirit to watch you maliciously with the intentions to take something from you. Okay? Me and my married friend, we've had this conversation occasionally. Me and my married friend, her and her husband's friends. Somebody always think you want their husband, and it's not always overt. It ain't like this isn't why did I get married? This ain't no altercation that's going to happen. You get what I'm saying? At an event or around a dinner table, but the energy just gets so awkward and uncomfortable, and it's like, don't nobody want your husband. Don't nobody want your person. He, her, they. Don't nobody want your person, especially not me. Let me tell you something. The moment I find somebody attractive, the moment I gain interest in somebody, as soon as I find out they got a spouse, I instantly become uninterested. I'm sorry if your person ain't treating you right. I'm sorry if your person has done something to make you distrustful of them. I'm sorry if you did something to your person and now you worried they gonna retaliate. I'm sorry if you don't have the best self-esteem. But let me tell you something. Don't nobody want your person. You see how I'm making this inclusive, everybody? Don't nobody want your person. And if somebody do want your person, it ain't me. It is not I. Honestly, I don't want nobody else's person because I don't even want the trouble. Every time you watch a Snapped episode, it's a crime of passion. Don't nobody want that trouble. Also, it is uncomfortable and it's awkward, and it forces people to be liars. It forces people to go against their morals if they have some, which I do. Also, I'm reasonable enough. I am reasonable enough to know that if I take your person, then I only become you in the future. And I know every so often, somebody done stole somebody's person and then they get to keep that person forever. Sometimes it be like that. Other times, Angelina Jolie and Brad Pitt, they get divorced and now he getting plastic surgery that we hate to see. But it's so crazy because I have experience, and of course, this is not all married couples. This is not every time I'm around married couples, but a good enough time for me to bring it to y'all. A good enough time for me to be like, girl, my very, very close friend of mine. She was like, hey, Zainab, we're going here for my birthday. We got a villa. Come with us. It's going to be it's going to be these people. All of them was couples. I said, wow, I love you so dearly and with all my heart. That doesn't sound fun to me. But y'all go ahead and have your couple fun. And I'm going to be over here with the singles not being bothered. And I'm not one of those people, like, I talk about this on stage. I talk about this in my real life. Like, I love healthy relationships. But and I know, again, a reasonable person enough to know that people be lying. People be like, I don't want your person, and all they want is your person. I know all of that. What I need y'all to understand, it ain't me. What Shaggy say? It ain't me. He actually said it wasn't me, but it's not me. I just want to say this. If you're a married couple watching this, and I be meeting, the ones I be meeting at my show, y'all be great. The married couples that be coming to my show, y'all really be great. Even when only one half of the couple really likes me, and the other half they be like, I'm there because like he or she like you, or they like you. But like, you know what I'm saying? I'm here because I like them and they like you. And so we at the show, and I'll be like, and you know what? I appreciate you and them and everybody. Thank you so much. I hope I see you again in whatever city this is. But sometimes married couples, when you meet them as a unit, it be weird. And it sucks when it's weird, because it's like, girl, if we met without him, me and you could be friends. And boy, if we met without her, I still wouldn't like you anyway. Don Lemon and Nicki Minaj are online fighting. He's saying that she should be deported, and she's saying that he needs to be arrested. I never thought that I would say this about my good, not so good anymore sister, Nicki Minaj. Oh my God. I never thought that I would say the same thing about Nicki Minaj that I said about Tory Lanez. They have to go. Ice, seems like you forgot someone. Yo, I think it's so crazy that the DOJ, the president, and anybody else that is bigoted enough, criminal enough, ignorant enough, are willing to prosecute protesters for interrupting Pastor ICE agent's sermon, but compassionately allowed Dylan Roof to stop and get Burger King after he shot and killed 9 people who were also attending church service. Whoever took Kanye West's socials, please take Nicki Minaj's socials as well right now, please. I don't care if she got rid of some of them. Take them all now, immediately. Expeditiously. Come on, T.I. We need you with a word. And then the most foolish part of it all is in her attack, in her insulting Don Lemon, she gonna call him a dick sucker. It's like, girl, you two are a dick sucker. I'm sure of it, because you've mentioned it multiple times in your music. Girl, I know, because I was singing along. You cannot claim to fight against or be against hate and then perpetuate it with the same old racism, sexism, and or homophobia. It's like, come on. Kiefer Sutherland, the actor most known for the series 24. I think the first thing I saw him in was like Billy the Kid. Was he in Billy the Kid? I think he was in Billy the Kid, and he was like a character I ain't really like that. I don't know if he was a bad guy. Like, he probably wasn't a bad guy, but he was probably the one in the good gang that was doing bad stuff. From what I remember not really trusting Kiefer Sutherland on camera from an early age. But I think my first experience with him was watching like Billy the Kid. And then, of course, he brutally raped a little black girl in A Time to Kill. And that movie, first of all, I know they put age and content warnings on movies, but when the movies go like to DVD and stuff like that, and they're gonna be on cable and all of that, we be watching it anyway. And I'm sure I saw A Time to Kill way too early. And I'm sure I clicked on it because the little girl was probably in What's Love Got to, it's like she was a familiar face from What's Love Got to Do With. So I'm like, oh, she's gonna be singing again. She's gonna be a jolly little anime Bullock again, right? And then it's like Samuel L. Jackson, and then who was it? Matthew McConaughey. This is a movie I gotta see. I don't know how I was young. This is a movie I gotta see. No. You ain't supposed to watch that movie till you grown. A Time to Kill, Pulp Fiction, Thelma and Louise. It's a lot of movies you ain't supposed to watch till you grown. From like, when did it come out? In the 90s? The like late 90s or something? I don't know. Anyway, maybe the early 90s. I don't know. I don't even know. But that movie always bugged me because it's like the little girl was just walking down the road and Kiefer Sutherland and whoever else was the other actor, they was just driving in a truck. And then they saw her walking down the road and then decided to commit a heinous crime. But it's like, where was you going? Like, if she was never walking down the road, was you on your way somewhere? And was wherever you was on your way to, whoever was expecting you, where you was on your way to? Because don't nobody just get in a truck and drive, right? It's like, for no reason. Like, whoever, whether you was going home and your mama was waiting for you, whether y'all was on your way to work, whether y'all was on your way to the bar, like, where was you going that you just ain't have to be there no more? Because I'm not a criminal, but I probably ain't never just going to stop and commit a crime because it's like I have to get where I'm going. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like I'm on my way, you know what I'm saying? I'm on my way to CVS. So it's like I would love to stop and catch a charge, but it's like, oh my God, I have to get some trash bags. I have trash in the kitchen that I need to, you know what I'm saying? I have the remnants of produce that I really need to put away, and I'm not going to compost, although I have a composter. And so I got to get to CVS. And while you have presented a wonderful opportunity for me to become a criminal, a diabolical criminal, I just can't do it because I'm going to CVS. Where was they going? That's what it just blew my mind about the movie. I'm like, yeah, what they did was horrific. What they did was horrific. And I don't remember that movie. I haven't seen it in a long. I think I only ever saw it once. But it's one of the movies you only ever need to see once, you know? And, you know, I love that Matthew McConaughey monologue. You know what I'm saying? Blah, 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 blah. Close your eyes. Now, imagine that movie had Ashley Judd. I think, what happened to Ashley Judd? It's like Charlize Theron came on the scene and we ain't see Ashley Judd no more. I know people be like, with black people, with people of color, they could only be one of us. But I think... I think it'd be the same way. It's just that they get so many more categories. Like if this was going to be a black lady, they like, okay, we'll give you one sexy black lady and one fat black lady. And maybe if Cicely Tyson is still alive, we give you an old black lady. Now, obviously, the wonderful, beautiful Felicia Rashad and, you know, Alfre Woodard and all of these amazing, talented women are, you know, they're becoming the, you know what I'm saying, the, you know, but white people, I think it's still like very much like they only, if it's a position, like, yes, they have many more positions than people of color. They have many more lanes provided for them than people of color. But in that lane, they only gonna let one of you. They say, oh, you a tall, cute looking white lady with blonde hair? Oh, yeah. And always got a bob haircut. Always got a short haircut. You always got a we don't know if that's a bob or a pixie. What you be doing? Yeah. Yeah, we only need one of y'all. So choose who it's going to be. Is it going to be you, Ashley, or are we sending this South African back? Charlize Theron is South African. Anyway, those are the two movies that I really know Kiefer Sutherland. Those are the two movies that I really know Kiefer Sutherland for. And those are bad movies. And so he was one of those actors for me that left a bad taste. Like if I saw him on anything, I would be like, oh no, I'm not watching that, because he is a constant boundary crosser. He is a constant disruptor of peace. I ain't watching him. And then I don't know what happened, but then he got on this award. Then he was the star. He became I don't know. I grew up, and I guess he grew older. And he became the star of this award-winning show, 24. And if you still couldn't get on board at first with like Kiefer Sutherland, like essentially saving, I don't know, the United States, whatever, the government, I don't know. You at least got on board with the black president. That was like one of the first shows where they was like, okay, we making the president of the United States a black man. And I think it was before Obama. I'm not sure, y'all. That now we getting into murky. Now we getting into a time that's not that clear. You know what I'm saying? I don't know about that time like that. But I think it was before, because I watched 24 after it was on. I watched 24 after the craze. Anyway, Kiefer Sutherland allegedly punched and tried to choke his Uber driver. And this is why I love autonomous vehicles. I don't care how y'all respond to my stories when I post myself in a Waymo. I do not care. Now, I'll be very honest with you. When I used to have my Tesla and I used to let the few times that I would let my Tesla like drive itself, I said, Elon, you have more work to do, because every time I felt like I had to grab the wheel, I felt like I was gonna crash. I felt like, oh man, my car about to hit some parked car. It never did, because of course I grabbed the wheel, but I definitely always felt like we was about to hit a parked car. But this is why I like autonomous vehicles. Oh, you trying to choke somebody? Who you gonna choke? It's just you in a car. Apparently, Kiefer Sutherland was drunk and got in the wrong car. Like maybe he called it. Maybe he was so drunk he thought the car was his car. I don't know where he was coming from, but it's like now I'm about to sound like a have and a have nots, but it's like, where was you coming from, Kiefer Sutherland? What's your life like? I would just imagine it. If Kiefer Sutherland is driving a car, he gave it to the valet. I don't know. I can't see. He might have. I can't see Kiefer Sutherland just hopping out and parking on a side street as he heads into the Chipotle. Like I just can't imagine it. But you know, stranger things have happened. But apparently he was drunk and got into an Uber, and it wasn't his Uber. And I guess when the Uber driver was like, "I'm not your driver. This is not your car. You got to get out." Kiefer Sutherland decides to start choking him and allegedly assaults the Uber driver. Another reason why I like autonomous vehicles, because if you've ever been in an autonomous vehicle, my experience has been with Waymo, but I'm saying autonomous just in case some other brands want to surface. Or if you're watching this in a different country and y'all got different brands, I don't know. But if you are in an autonomous vehicle, the way Waymo works is it is Bluetooth operated. That means that the car is not even going to unlock itself. It's not even going to make itself available to be opened by anyone who does not have my phone and is in close proximity to the actual vehicle. So unlike a ride share, Uber, Lyft, etc., where you could call that ride share for somebody else, you could call that ride share for somebody else in a whole nother city. You don't have to be there. They just need the right information. It don't work like that. The autonomous vehicles the Waymos do not work like that. The Bluetooth immediately connects to which is why you got to have on your Bluetooth. It immediately connects. If you still using a Nokia phone from 2004, you ain't going to be able to use a Waymo. The updates need the updates. Okay? You got the fourth iPhone, you ain't going to be able to use a Waymo. I'm not sure how Obama phones work, but do they have Bluetooth? Do like the phones that you get from like government assistance, because people do get cell phones from like government assistance. Those phones, does it have Bluetooth? I don't know. Like a prepaid phone, does it have Bluetooth? I don't know. But in order to use Waymo, you need a Bluetooth. It will not open for you. This ain't gonna do nothing to him, but maybe, like meaning him being arrested, it being public news, it not being great news. But it ain't gonna do nothing. It ain't gonna do nothing to Kiefer Sutherland. He is not just a A-list celebrity, a straight white guy. He's also like, he's a Nepo baby. And I was about to say, it doesn't mean a Nepo baby. It's like, I'm not even about to argue with that. Whether you good or not good, whether you supremely talented or not, like that ain't the definition of a Nepo baby. He a Nepo baby. So this ain't gonna do nothing to him. But a reasonable outcome to this incident would be for him to check himself into rehab. Because if it's just like you was drunk for whatever reason, you drunk, you had too many drinks, you drink a lot, you got some stuff going on in your life that we don't really know about, whatever. You got the resources. Yup, and I can say that confidently. You got the resources. And if you, Kiefer Sutherland, don't got the resources, then we got to put you also in a financial rehab, okay? Check yourself in a rehab. You can't be out here drunk and assaulting a Uber driver. It's like how you get drunk and assault that other multi-million-dollar person you was just at the table with. Preferably not a woman. Get drunk and assault The Rock. don't be assaulting the Uber driver who is really has really helped in society in like a major way. Los Angeles, I know Uber is a lot of places, but Los Angeles, like a lot of cities, are really driver-driven cities, you know? My friend told me a while ago, she was like, a friend of mine a few years ago, she was like, LA had the best public transportation in the world. Like, architects used to come from all over the world to study LA's transportation, and then, Ford or Rockefeller, somebody decided they wanted to turn this city, state, whatever, into a driving center just to sell the product that they was making. Anyway, look it up. I'm about to say, or go watch Godfrey podcast. He probably know. But if you ever been to Los Angeles, it's like, sure, there is public transportation. It's not ideal at all, especially as an adult that has to travel outside of your local community. It's not ideal at all. But what it has done is it has created what ride share, really Lyft came before Uber, right? What ride sharing has done is it has provided both for our society, our economy, it has provided transportation for people who don't have car transportation permanently or sporadically. And it's also provided income for people who do have transportation in time. It's like, get your ass in rehab. You ain't got time. You assaulting a rehab. You assaulting an Uber driver. Okay, now what should I talk about? Clarissa Shields or medical abortions? Hey, so if you guys made it this far, you should hit the subscribe button. Also, a thumbs up and a share goes a long way. So why don't you go ahead and hit those buttons right now and share this show with someone in your life that you think will enjoy it. I really do appreciate it. I will be coming to Charlotte, North Carolina, January 31st through February 1st. That is 2 nights only, 2 shows, 2 nights. That is a Saturday and a Sunday, January 31st and February 1st. We will be fasting on that day, the 24-hour water fast, only water for 24 hours. That's Charlotte, North Carolina, not the people who come to the show, unless you're a reason and you choose to do it. But I don't know, maybe not, because they got a 2 drink or item minimum. Anyway, Charlotte, North Carolina at the Comedy Zone. February 6th and 7th, I will be at the Improv in Raleigh, North Carolina. So, you know what I'm saying? A little further away from Charlotte. I will be in Raleigh, North Carolina at the Improv February 6th and 7th. February 13th through the 15th, Valentine's Day weekend, if you acknowledge that holiday. I will be in Pittsburgh at the Pittsburgh Improv, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. That is where I will be February 13th through the 15th. That is Friday through Sunday. Come and show me some love. February 19th for one night only, I will be in Indianapolis, Indiana at the Helium Comedy Club in Indianapolis. That is February 19th. Then I'm coming to Chicago. I'm coming to Zanies in Chicago, downtown Zanies. I will be at the Zanies in Chicago, February 20th through the 22nd. Again, that is a Friday through a Sunday as well. 5 shows. Go ahead and get those tickets before they sell out. And then I'm heading to Australia. I'm heading down under March 26th through April 5th. I will be doing 10 nights, 10 shows in Melbourne, Australia as part of the Melbourne International Comedy Festival. Those tickets are also available on my website right now. So if you find yourself in Melbourne right now or will be in Melbourne at the time, or you're a little hop skipping away like Sydney or something like that, and I won't be coming there, and you're like, I really, really have wanted to see her, then, I don't know. If you can figure it out, I'll make sure it's a good time. Respectfully. May 30th, I will be in Atlanta at the City Winery in Atlanta, May 30th. 2 shows, 1 night, May 30th in Atlanta, Georgia. And then June 6th. June 6th, I will be in Washington, D.C. at the Howard Theater. 2 shows, 1 night. That is a Saturday, June 6th, Washington, D.C. Go ahead and get those tickets when they go on sale. A lot of you guys have been like, yo, I'm looking for, and it's like D.C. if you want to come see me in D.C., just know D.C. is going to sell out. Don't wait. When those tickets go on sale, which will be next week, the end of next week, make sure that you get those tickets because they are going to sell out. And when they sell out, there will not be, it's a theater. They're not going to be shows added. It's not going to be shows changed. It's not going to be seats. Get those tickets. Do not wait, don't be getting no Klarna or nothing for my tickets. But I'm just saying, don't sit and be like, I'm gonna wait until everybody, I'm gonna see what everybody else doing. And you're gonna be at home watching me on a podcast next week, like, yo, DC, we did that. Okay. And then after DC, I will be in St. Louis, Missouri, June 11th for one night only. St. Louis, Missouri. I believe I'll be at the Helium in St. Louis. And then June 26th through the 28th, I will be in Tempe, Arizona at the Improv in Tempe, Arizona. That is June 26th and 28th. As always, more cities and more dates will be added. Feel free to drop the city you'd like me to come to. I may be able to do what you ask. Feel free to drop it in the comments. But just also know this is not the end of my schedule for the year. It's not like these are the shows and that's it. No, more cities and more dates will be added. So if you want tickets to my show, just scroll down to the details of this podcast, click on the link for the tickets, and I will see you there. All right, let's get back to the show. Did y'all see the C-SPAN video of Dr. Versa, the OBGYN doctor, being asked by the senator, I think he's a Missouri senator, Josh Hawley, if men can get pregnant? Did y'all see that video? I know y'all was like, talk about Clarissa Shields. I feel like she's getting it enough. Also, she can probably beat me up. So I'm going to just let her do what she do. And also, I do find it quite entertaining and funny, but I ain't really got no problem with it. You want to know why? Because she's not in my life at all. Like, at all. Like, her, him, Remy, like, ain't none of them in my life at all. And so I don't really, and we discussed this. Remember, we discussed this on a live way back when. And I was like, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I ain't got to sit here and talk about she crazy and Papoose ain't got nothing. And like, I ain't got, it's just a waste of time. But it is quite entertaining. And I did feel good for her when Rihanna was like, I feel about ASAP like how Clarissa feel about Pap. And we was like, okay. Y'all know I like me some ASAP. But I was like, okay, if Riri said it, and Clarissa was like, oh my God, Riri knows my name and she knows who I am. And I just really loved that moment for her. I really did. Okay, I will say one thing. I hope that it's not true. Let's watch this video where they're saying that Clarissa Shields called into a radio show to defend herself, which there's nothing wrong with that. But she called into a radio show to defend herself, but she pretended to be not herself. Like she was calling in like she was a fan of hers. Here, let's watch.
Very, very false. I know Clarissa myself. So therefore, no, it's not true. Secondly, you are talking about that her image is destroyed. How are you guys on this live, the girl you had just before, just saying that, oh, she only made $8 million, like $8 million is not a lot of money. And she has the most lucrative boxing deal in women's boxing. When do we start doing this stuff?
Okay, keep going. So you don't think her image has been destroyed because of the deal?
It's not about she has not done anything for her image to be destroyed. She is a female boxer. What else is she supposed to do?
But what does that mean?
I would love to hear this.
No.
She is a female boxer.
Okay.
She is the best in the world at what she does. She's undefeated. She's never been in jail. She doesn't have anything on her record that's bad. How are you guys painting this girl out to be a bad person and be a bad woman? Please explain that to me.
I was a fan of Clarissa. I've done videos on Clarissa. You go back on my channel saying she should be a gazillionaire. This is effed up. I don't see why this girl doesn't have gazillions of dollars with everything that she's accomplished. But I spoke highly of Clarissa.
I actually got hit to these lies because you're saying that my tickets aren't selling for the fight, and then you're saying that taxes, and then you're making up all this stuff about my image. And literally in the gym, training, running, getting ready for the fight, taking taking care of the family, and then you just keep on coming up with more and more lies, and then you're letting people come on your channel and spew more lies and don't even speak the truth. Get on here lying about me every single day. I'll get on here lying about me every single day. I'll get on here lying about me every single day.
Because Clarissa can fight. And because I do think that she gets the amount of TikToks that I see, the amount of spoofs of her that I see online, it's very hard for me to contribute to that. So the amount of tearing down that I see of her online, it doesn't feel right. And she's Clarissa Shields is like, how old is she? 29 or something? Is she 30? Is she maybe, because I think she said she want to have a baby. Let's look it up. She just turned 30. Oh, she's a Pisces. Okay. I don't know. That means nothing to me. I think I have a lot of like empathy for her. I imagine, because I saw the movie that was about her. And so that gave me a lot of that just made me really empathetic to her. I don't want to say existence, that's dramatic, but like maybe her behavior at times, or I don't know, just her navigating her life, you know? But I do think that so I ain't about to sit here and just make fun of her and, you know, whatever. Yeah. She started off saying, you know, it's very overt. She says, I know her, which sounds like she's not talking about a person, right? It sounds like she's not talking about herself. Even in the third person, I mean, maybe I'll reach that far to give her the benefit of the doubt. Maybe all of that was the third person and then she just forgot and went back to first person. You know, maybe this is just a lesson in grammar. You know? But obviously y'all listen to it. So the thing that we should focus on is not like, oh, she's so pathetic that she called into a radio show or a podcast and pretended to be a fan of hers, and really it was her. We all know that if our lives were publicized, I mean, I'm a public figure, but there's a lot of things that I don't share and that I don't want to be shared. But we all know that if our lives were public and constantly scrutinized, people would see that we've done some things that are outright silly and we are not proud of. Especially if you're constantly being attacked, if you constantly feel like people are telling lies about you. And Clarissa seemed like she be counting every dollar and every penny, and not even like, oh, she not like she frugal, but like, no. You ain't about to rob me. I'm tired of people getting some. If I get robbed, just know it's by Pap, and that's it. See how easy it is to throw shade? That's why I didn't want to talk about it. Because even after I just heard that in my head, I said, now Zainab, why would you say that? What we should be asking is not why is she pretending to be somebody else, but why is she in a position where she has to continue to publicly defend herself? And I would imagine that a lot of people were like, well, she doesn't have to. Like, she's fully engaging in this stuff. But I think that's still like the question, like, where is the community? Where are the people to surround this girl, this young woman, and sort of hold her hand and say, hey, listen, it don't matter what you say or what you do, they gonna have a problem with you. It don't matter. So now you could just keep being happy in your life, make Pap's eggs just how he like them. Or you could waste your time, energy, and oftentimes look stupid as fuck by trying to fight them back. Why don't you just focus on loving your man, having your baby, because you said that was a priority for you? And when you get in the ring, every single time, it's like, I just finished watching The Waterboy over to do a Clayton Thomas's podcast, but it's just like how Coach Klein told Bobby Boucher, envision every person that has ever been rude to you, said something wrong to you, done something wrong to you, mistreated you, been mean to you. Envision them when you go out there and got to fight a girl in the ring. Now, if she channel all of this negative energy that she gets by way of media, internet, etc., if she channels that into the fury that she brings in the ring, let me tell you what, I wouldn't want to be a girl fighting her. If I had a fight with Clarissa Shields and she ain't get on the internet and defend herself for 9 months, I would be like, we have to cancel the fight. Because she going to bring all of that pent up energy that she been holding back. She been wanting to say every single thing to the people in the minute. She been wanting to call out and argue with every single person that ever made a video about her. And this is no shade to this man, right? Like, he is somewhere in his world doing content in the same way that I am, but I would never know him. I would never know about him. I have not known about him. It's like she also doesn't understand that she is platforming people by going to them. You're platforming them by responding to them. Girl, hold it all in and use it in the ring. Yo, if I had a fight with Clarissa coming up and I'm like, Clarissa ain't online. She ain't been online in 22 weeks. What? She ain't responding to nobody. She ain't even tweet. She ain't show pap. Nothing. No, nothing. Oh yeah, y'all. We can't do the fight. She's going to beat me up. And I know as a boxer, I ain't supposed to say that. We all supposed to think we can win. You ain't supposed to step in the ring unless you believe that you can win. But if Clarissa has not clapped back at anybody in 22 weeks, I think she might kill me in the ring. By accident, I think she might kill me. That's a lot of time talking about something I said I wasn't going to talk about. But I'm also wishing Clarissa the best. I was going to say, I hope I get to see one of her fights someday, but I don't really be liking stuff like that. Like, fine if it's in like a Rocky bout, if it's Creed, then cool. Say what y'all want about Jonathan Majors. I still respectfully love Jonathan Majors and Creed. And if ever I'm on a plane and they give me the option to watch Creed 3, don't get me wrong, love Michael B. Jordan. He does great. I think this is such a great franchise for him. Love him, but I ain't watching Creed every time I see Creed, I ain't watching Creed. But Creed 3 with Jonathan Majors. If ever I'm on a plane, when it used to be on a plane, when it had just went to like streaming and stuff like that after the theaters, before, right before his life sort of shifted, I was watching it over. I've seen Creed 3 like 4 times. That's how much I get a kick out of Jonathan Majors in that movie, because the character was utterly ridiculous in the most believable and compelling and scary way. What was his name in the movie? What was his character in the movie? How I'm gonna be money if I ain't got the money? What was his character? Damian Anderson. No, what was his other name? Diamond Dame. That's what it was. In Creed 3, Jonathan Majors played the character Damian Diamond Dame. And that scene where now who knows how he got out of jail on Tuesday and then Wednesday had a a loft overlooking the whole city. Who knows how that happened? You know what I'm saying? He went from having a motel room that was the side of his cell that he was in prison for however long, and then in about 4 hours he had a triplex place overlooking the hills of Los Angeles. Like, I don't know how that happened. Anyway, when Creed came over, when Adonis Creed came over and like confronted him, and he was like, oh, you got on the chain now, you got, okay, I see you got the diamonds now. And he was like, can't be Diamond Dane without the diamonds. I laugh every single time, but in a good way, not like a Tyler Perry, like not like that, like in a good way. I laugh. I be like, he's psychotic. Oh my God. Please make sure the hearing impaired child is not next to him. He is psychotic. Like I just love that. Anyway, I am way off task. Okay, what was I talking about? So as I said, her name is Nisha Verma. I hope that I'm pronouncing that correctly. She was at a medication abortion safety committee hearing. And I don't know, like a couple of days ago, like January 14th or 15th, last week sometime. And she was being questioned by Senator Josh Hawley. And he kept asking her over and over and over and over again, can men get pregnant? Can men get pregnant? And let's watch it because it really was a bad video. But you know, we always like to look at things and discuss things from a more reasonable lens, right? So let's check it out. Boom, 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 boom. Oh, where is it? Dang, I can't find it. But look at this video. He's talking about he wants to sit down and she did not let him. It's not funny. It's not funny. I can't believe that. And then ain't nobody do. The thing that be shocking to me is like everybody else. You ain't about to be no man and just hit a woman. And I'ma just be like, oh, and I mean, I'm doing something. You gonna see a physical reaction. I don't know what, even if that physical reaction is just me jumping up, checking on her. They was too casual. And I don't try to normalize or make excuses for any of the horrific things that are constant in this country. I don't pretend that we are like human beings can be the most beautiful creatures or we can be monsters, right? And there will never be enough time for us to get in the weeds of that, right? But it's videos like this and my understanding, knowledge, and awareness of incidents like these that make me know that a lot of common issues happen all over the world. And we all have our problems. And truly, the grass ain't greener on the other side. The grass is not greener on the other side. That's what Trump, he's going to get to Greenland and be like, this grass is not as green as I thought it would be. I thought that it would be all grass, and it's no grass at all. I don't know. I've never been in Greenland. But it's like, this would have been a whole conversation, and maybe it is happening in Korea. Maybe it's a whole conversation about how Korean men hate Korean women. I don't know. But this would have been a whole conversation here. While it is wrong, it's jarring. It's jarring. The fact that she said, I'm going to call the cops, and nobody else was like, girl, they already on the way. Girl, the moment his hand went up towards your face, I was calling the Korean version of 911. Girl, woo. See, they here. Girl. But I don't see I don't know. Somebody get me to Korean Twitter, Korean TikTok. Because are y'all having discussions about what this says about men and women and and we hate each other and this is what, is that happening? So I'm looking for the video of the senator. Why can't I find his white face?
Do you think that men can get pregnant?
I hesitated there because I wasn't sure where the conversation was going or what the goal was. I mean, I do take care of patients with different identities. I take care of many women. I take care of people with different identities. And so that's where I paused. I think, I wasn't sure where you were going with that.
Well, the goal is just the truth. So can men get pregnant?
Again, the reason I paused there is I'm not really sure what the goal of the question is.
The goal is just to establish a biological reality. You just said a moment ago that science and evidence should control, not politics. Absolutely. So let's just test that proposition. Can men get pregnant?
I take care of people with many identities, but
can men get pregnant?
There are many women that can get pregnant. I do take care of people that don't identify as women.
Can men get pregnant?
Again, as I'm saying,
let me just remind you what you testified to a moment ago. Science and evidence.
Okay, so I mean that goes on and on and on and on and on and on. It's like, first of all, he know men can't get pregnant because how many times has he ejaculated into a man and he ain't got no kids by a man? So now I sound like Nicki Minaj. I am just talking about how the Grindr app and all of the gay male apps shut down when the Republican National Convention is in town. Also, I wish that she would have just answered the question, and I understand what he's trying to do, right? And she understands it too. She understands that he is trying to walk her into a trap, is what he's trying to do. And let me go back. I don't know this man. I don't live in Missouri. I have never heard of this man or this doctor before this day. And some of you might be so savvy and tapped in politically that you know all the senators everywhere. This might have put him on the map the most he was going to be put on the map. If not, put it in the comments. Like, what did I miss? Anyway, he do look like, to me, and again, I don't know him, so this is just me judging a book by its cover. This is just me, you know what I'm saying, looking at something, and I'm gonna be funny. He looked like the guy, he looked like the asshole in a romantic comedy who don't end up getting a girl. You get what I'm saying? Like, he thought he was going to get Gwyneth Paltrow, but she's going home with Shallow Hal. You get what I'm saying? Like, he looked like that. It's something about Mary, but he'll never know. Do you get what I'm saying? He looks like that type of guy. He looks like he was the Bradley Cooper character in Wedding Crashers. You're a dick, right? But his hair is all coiffed nice. His suit fits great. He got a chiseled jawline. And so I'm sure they probably really represent him. I'm sure they probably really, you know what I'm saying, celebrate him. But to me, he still looks like the villain. Now, we got to get this doctor some help, because even when people, he is asking a direct question, right? And we all know, regardless of your ability to fully be so open-minded and politically correct when having any conversation about the trans community or the non-binary community, we all understand science so far. This is a world where evolution is something that we believe, right? And so what may be true, what may be factual today, maybe centuries from now won't be, right? But we understand biology, we understand science, and it always gets a little bit conflated in the trans conversation when they start saying men and women versus male and female. See, when he says women, the doctor is like, well, yeah, I treat a lot of women. In her mind, it's because it doesn't matter if you transition, you identify as a woman. And so although you may not ever be able to get pregnant, you identify as a woman, and I see you as how you identify as a woman. And so therefore, I can't sit here and say, women get what do you get what I'm saying? So one, and this happens to me too. Although I try not to ever be like in a political conversation having to do with like LGBTQ rights and stuff. It's like, no. What I'm here for, right? Oh, y'all need allies? Okay, yeah, absolutely. I'll show up. But when y'all kind of just figuring it out, that's y'all decision. And then let me know. I'm a follow your lead. What do you want to be called? And how do you identify? I'm going to follow your lead because it's you. So I do it also. And I try my best to be mindful of when speaking about the sexes to say, because gender and sex, right? That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? What y'all watch Lene Vanette? Like a lot of people say gender and sex are different, right? And so the male sex and the female sex, right? Directly like having to do with our chromosomes, our XXXY chromosomes, right? Yes, we know that if you got an XY chromosome, then you cannot get pregnant. You got an XY chromosome and you cannot get pregnant, right? We know that. She know he trying to walk her into a trap, and she is trying her best to avoid the trap. And he is authoritative. He is concise. He like, even if you don't answer me, you look so bad that that's answer enough. Cause I got you trapped in the corner and you fighting for your life and you're losing horribly. He is Clarissa Shields and she is a 120-pound little girl who ain't never fought before. As I'm watching it, I wish, because I'm not even a person that's like, obviously I was in conversations with people who was like, it's like, yeah, just this is what people who need reason to, I hate to say it, but to, validate their lack of compassion and ability to see and accept something that's different. And again, I can't get in the weeds of this because I do. It's not a blanket like yes. No. It's not like that. I do feel very specific ways. Like right now, the way it's set up, this doesn't quite seem like it's workable. This doesn't quite seem like this is a thing that we should be doing just because it's not quite set up for this yet in the most reasonable way. And yes, I'm being a bit obtuse, you guys. But even still, I'm not looking for like you wrong and that's why you shouldn't do this and you shouldn't exist. You know what I'm saying? I'm not looking to like prove a point. I'm looking to like find a way for us to harmoniously coexist. I just wish she would have met him with that same energy. And it's the energy of like, I know exactly what you're doing. And she was like, she was also, it was like she was a little tiny mouse trapped in a cage, And it's like, girl, no, first of all, this ain't even what we supposed to be talking about. Why are you asking me if men can get pregnant? We here talking about abortion. Why men always worried about men for? We here talking about abortion. So if you already know the answer to this question, what's the next question? What you trying to know about abortion? Because that's what this hearing is about. But also, and I'm going to say it, and I'm going to keep saying it, sometimes you got to meet people where they are. I would like every opportunity to be reasonable in every moment. I'm going to try my hardest as I encourage my reasons to. Try your hardest to be and remain reasonable. But sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to be like, first of all, you're referring to them as men and women. We're talking about sexes, it's male and female. And to answer your question that you are so aggressively trying to lock me into saying something only to use my words against me, no. People who are born biologically male at this point in time have not been able to get pregnant. And then I would have added my little line. But you should know that already, because haven't you ejaculated your sperm into a man? I don't know this to be true, you guys. This is just me going low. Because you ain't about to be out here having me look crazy. This is me going low. Because it's like how I said in 40-year-old version, where Romani Malco said, oh, you want the N-word? You want the, he's here now. Oh, we being unreasonable? Okay, cool. Yeah, no. That's what you want to hear? No, biological males, cis males cannot get, at this current point, nope. Haven't been able to. We have no proof that they've been able to get pregnant currently or in the past. But you should know that better than anybody, Senator, respectfully, because is your man pregnant? And again, I ain't trying to be Nicki Minaj. I'm not trying to diminish what he's saying or doing by just throwing a, accusation of homosexuality or bisexuality out there, right? Or closeted, behavior out there. I'm not saying that. Although it is very true, and all the gay men be talking about it, that when a Republican National Convention is in town, Grindr be like, too much traffic. Grindr said the server ain't even built for this much action. But that I'm being like ridiculous, But it's like, you just gotta say it. Yes, I know exactly what you are doing. And she tried. She's like, I see multiple identities, and I'm trying to say, you're trying to. It's like, no. Here's the thing. I need Clarissa energy from you. This is what I need. This is what I needed from the doctor. I need. Don't ever ask my man about his eggs. I need that energy from you. If y'all don't know what I'm referencing, it's a funny video. That's the one that I was like, I don't know who the girl was in the back. Was like, how you want your eggs to Papoose? I guess he was upstairs. These are the TikToks that they always make fun of Clarissa. Like, it don't matter what you ask her. Like, what time you gonna be there? She be like, who Pap? He upstairs. Like, that's like the running joke, right? Who Pap? I'm cooking for Pap. Pap upstairs. Pap always upstairs. Y'all want to see Pap? Pap upstairs. It don't matter. They be like, oh, how I'm doing today? Pap upstairs. Like, that is the running joke, right? But I guess whoever that was, I don't know, was it the house kid? I don't know who it was. But it was like, how you want your eggs? And she was like, I know how you, don't ask him how he want his eggs. I know how you want his eggs. I make my man eggs every day. I make him, and y'all, if I was at any of, speaking of my married friends and my married siblings and my, all of the married people in my life, if I asked my brother-in-law, actually, this is actually a real story. I was making a salad at my sister's house, and I always be making fun of my brother-in-law. I'd be like, you don't eat no vegetables. And he's like, I do eat vegetables. Right? We be fighting. No, we actually don't be fighting. But like, I be saying stuff and I be joking, and he could take a joke a little bit, but I got to recognize like when enough is enough. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't be feeling like I have gotten even close to the boundary of enough, but his boundary is real close to the start point. Okay. Him and his kids, and I'd be like, that dumb is my nephew. I love these kids. These is my kids. If anything ever happened to you, just know these kids is good with me. I give up my whole life for these kids. You know what I'm saying? But he'd be like, don't say nothing about me or my kids. Now, you want to talk about your sister, that's on y'all. But he really kind of won't even let me talk about my sister. I can appreciate that. Okay. But I said, you don't eat. I said, you don't be eating vegetables. I said, every time I'm here, I'll be making salads for everybody. You never be eating it. And then he ordered food. He ordered food that same night, and he got a salad. I said, Joe, what you eating? He was like, oh, a salad with some grilled chicken on top. My feelings was hurt. I don't know if they was really hurt, but I was shocked. I was like, I asked you if you wanted a salad. And he was like, yeah, I don't like tomatoes. You put tomatoes in it. And I was like, man, you should have told me. Yeah, I'd have made you your own salad, sans tomatoes. If my sister would have been like, don't worry about my man's tomatoes, that's why I ain't tell you, because you don't need to worry about it. My man, the way I would have laughed for days and days and days. I would have laughed and I would have laughed until I was rendered unconscious, and they would have been like, what happened to Zainab? She died of laughter. She died. Her sister said something so ridiculous that she died of laughter. Anyway, that's the energy that this doctor needs to have. Don't worry about if men could get pregnant. Are you pregnant? Don't worry about it. You looking for an abortion? Don't worry about it. Then he would have been like, I mean, of course I'm not pregnant. Okay, so there go the answer to your question. I'd have had, and they would have memed me up, and they would have villainized me, and they would have said I don't know what I'm talking about, and then they would have said I needed to be prosecuted, because that's just, it's crazy how the police, it's crazy how the same people who say, oh, we don't never they weaponizing the police. I'm like, so y'all want to prosecute everybody except the criminals that you are, except the criminals in your life. You want everybody else prosecuted. But they gonna do all of that to her, and guess what? They did it anyway. They done memed her up, talked about her. In the group chat, I think they said something about RFK. I don't know if this is real. Breaking news. Oh, not RFK, but God, these people really look the same. It's like the MAGA one. I don't know if they go into the same plastic surgery. They gotta stop looking like this. Breaking news, Representative Buddy Carter, who is a Republican out of Georgia, is calling to revoke the medical license. Calling to revoke the medical license of the gynecologists who refuse to say men can't get pregnant during this. It's like, what did y'all think about it? and this is not, please, I was about to say, put it in the comments. Do not put in the comments how you feel, if you feel trans people should exist. Don't put in the comments, your homophobia or your transphobia. Please don't do it. I will block you. You will no longer be welcome here. You will not be a reason. Don't do that. We already know this. It is overt. It's like, it's clear. Everybody gonna do that. Everybody, if you want to stand and they trying to get you to it, if they trying to get you to admit to something, that's the reason why you have Miranda rights. You have the right. Maybe should have pled the fifth. You got the right to remain silent. Anything you say and do will be held against you. That's what he was trying to do. He was trying to Mirandize her. He was trying to say this, so we all, just like he read her words back to her. We can't politicize gender or to whatever he read back to her. You're trying to, he said, you said it, something, we can't politicize biology, something like that, whatever it was. You only looking for a sound bite. You not even looking for a sound bite to go against this, I don't know what abortion medication, but you are looking to have something documented, both in audio form and video form, of something that you can use to continue to keep people who are not quote unquote normal on the fringes of society, or if certain people have their way completely outside, completely non-existent. Stop it. Come on, we all know. And we all know that there are people here who either don't identify as binary, as one of the two, or they identify as male. Which is why when he said men, there's a lot of trans men. Trans men don't nearly get the flack that trans women do. They like, oh, you trying to be a man? We don't care. Wait a second. Now you trying to be a woman? You still a man. Don't none of these stories that are politicized, that are polarizing, having to do with the trans community, it ain't, the leading story don't never be like, well, this lady turned into a man. This lady transitioned to a man, and we got a problem with it. Last time we saw something like that was Hilary Swank and Boys Don't Cry, and I think she won an Oscar for it. That's it. Come see my shows. Get your tickets. The link to the tickets are in the details of this podcast. Thank you so much for tuning into this episode of I'm Reasonable. I'm Zainab Johnson. Until we speak again, be reasonable. Also, how many, y'all, I think there's 11 I'm Reasonable shirts left. 11. I think that the black small, black extra large are sold out. And then there's like, I don't know, 3 sizes of, anyway, so thank you so much for purchasing those shirts. If you've been thinking about it and haven't gotten yours, then let this be your reminder to get it. But yeah, thank you so much. And I'll talk to you guys next week. Be reasonable. Bye.